Thank you very much, Julia. And this is, again, the very important issues of the complex that the migrants are facing. And we expect that this may continue for coming years as well. And this is definitely the area that we need to look at that as well. So here I'd like to invite the Esther Dixon-Williams, who's the board of director of the European AIDS Treatment Group. And she's been working on the migrants and the women living with HIV for a long time. Please.
Thank you. Okay. I'd just like to thank Julia as well for her presentation. The overall challenges for undocumented and documented migrants' access to STI testing and treatment and care are navigating national and local health systems, understanding what services can be accessed for free or for charge, barriers of documentation requirements. Some points of access require documentation of migration status, which can make it impossible for undocumented migrants. There are also language barriers with variable access to state and NGO translation services, notwithstanding increasing hostile political environment towards migrants in many countries. In the UK, migrants find it difficult to access mainstream health services and sexual health services despite being entitled to them. This is due to not knowing the system, having to not knowing whether they have to pay charges, or being wrongly turned away by healthcare staff. It's also important to look at the way and needs of different groups such as women, MSN access, and how they access STI services. Another barrier is stigma and discrimination, which is a barrier for migrants to uptake HIV prevention and STI services as well, and treatment services. This is within migrant populations and also among health professionals. In 2017, the ECDC reported that 22 countries reported that stigma and discrimination among migrants from high prevalence countries is a barrier. And 17 countries reported that stigma and discrimination among health professionals is a barrier to the uptake of prevention services for migrants from these countries. Migrants to Europe face the difficulties with communication, language, safety, and physical and mental health, access to education and work, which is not possible in the majority of countries. It's important that there is a sharing of best practices, building stronger links between community groups and services, frontline NGOs with statutory services for testing, treatment and care. And finally, it's of great importance to scope debates through a humanitarian viewpoint, and with an understanding that changing environments will include a continuation of movement of people in Europe and beyond. Thank you.
Thank you, Esther. I think it's really striking that the migrants population, they really need to rely on the more informal services, and if ever available. And I think this is really something that we need to be always aware and maybe think of how do we address the issues.